The Science of Willpower, Training Your Mind to Win, by Dr. Nancy Brown. Introduction: the unseen force that shapes all destiny. In every city, in every town, in every field of human endeavor, a silent, invisible drama unfolds day after day. It is the story of two individuals, living side by side, who begin life with nearly identical measures of talent, education, and opportunity. One rises to heights of astonishing achievement, commanding respect, creating value, and reaping the rich rewards of a life fully lived. They move with an aura of quiet power, and circumstances seem to bend to their command. The other, armed with the same raw materials, languishes in the gray twilight of mediocrity. They are forever haunted by the ghost of what might have been, reciting a litany of if-onlys and somedays. They see the success of their counterpart and attribute it to luck, to circumstance, to some unfair advantage. They are mistaken. What is this mysterious, unseen force that accounts for the profound difference in their destinies? What is the secret ingredient that one possesses in abundance and the other lacks? It is not luck. Luck is a phantom pursued by the indolent and the aimless. It is not circumstance. The history of human achievement is the history of men and women who conquered circumstance. The determining factor, the one power that separates the titan from the timid, is a force that resides deep within every human being, awaiting only its discovery, its awakening, and its cultivation. That force is a trained, directed, and unconquerable will. For too long, the popular conception of willpower has been a grim and joyless caricature. It has been described as a battle of clenched fists and gritted teeth, a life of stern self-denial. But this is a pale and distorted shadow of its true nature. The will, in its highest and truest form, is not a force of brute resistance. It is the calm, unwavering director of your entire mental kingdom. It is the master architect that takes the ethereal blueprint of your desires and commands all of your other faculties, your imagination, your reason, your emotions, your physical energy, to labor unceasingly and harmoniously until that blueprint is made manifest in the solid granite of physical reality. The person who has not mastered their will is like a magnificent ship built without a rudder. It is at the mercy of every passing current of opinion, every gust of criticism, every tidal pull of appetite. It drifts aimlessly, its great power wasted, and is often dashed upon the rocks of failure. But the person who has forged an indomitable will is the captain of a mighty vessel. They chart a deliberate course through any storm, guided by the compass of their own purpose, confident in their power to reach their chosen destination. The great masters of achievement, the builders of industrial empires, the pioneers of science, the shapers of human thought, were, first and foremost, individuals of immense and disciplined will. They understood a fundamental law of life. The world does not make way for the person who merely hopes or wishes. It stands aside for the person who wills. In the pages that follow, we will dispense with vague theories and hollow affirmations. We will lay bare the immutable principles and the practical, time-tested methods for forging such a will within yourself. This is the true science of achievement, a science of the mind that has been proven again and again in the laboratories of human experience by the most successful men and women who have ever lived. This is not a philosophy of maybe, but a science of I will. You will discover the secret starting point of all great achievement, which fans the tiny spark of a simple wish into the white-hot, all-consuming fire of a burning desire. How to build a fortress of unshakable belief in your own mind, making you immune to the doubt, fear, and criticism that paralyzes the will of the masses. The magnetic power of a definite chief aim, and how it can transform you from a scattered dabbler into a focused force of irresistible momentum. The art of commanding your vast subconscious mind, turning your deepest mental servant into a tireless ally that works for your success, even while you sleep. The master key of self-discipline, which unlocks the door to complete control over your thoughts, your habits, and ultimately, your destiny. The divine alchemy of persistence, the secret formula for turning the lead of temporary defeat into the pure gold of ultimate victory. You were not born to be a creature of circumstance, a pawn moved by the hands of others. You were born to be a creator of circumstances, a king in the realm of your own life. The tools for this divine act of creation lie dormant within you. This book is the key to their awakening. Prepare to unlock the sleeping giant within and train your mind, not just to compete, not just to survive, but to win. Part I, the foundation of power, the inner world. Before the first stone of a skyscraper is laid, a deep and solid foundation must be excavated and poured. Without this unseen groundwork, the entire structure would collapse under its own weight. So it is with the building of an unconquerable will. The power you ultimately express in the outer world of action and results is a direct and unerring reflection of the conditions you first create in your inner world of thought. Attempting to discipline your actions without first disciplining your thoughts is the height of folly. It is like trying to trim the leaves of a weed while leaving its deep and tangled root system intact. True power, lasting power, is built from the inside out. In this first section, we will dig that foundation. We will master the three cardinal principles upon which all personal power is irrevocably built: desire, belief, and definiteness of purpose. Without these, the will has no fire to fuel it, no conviction to guide it, and no direction in which to travel. It is a cannon without powder, a lens without light, a ship without a port. But with these three pillars firmly in place, you will have established a foundation for your will that can support the loftiest ambitions you can conceive. Chapter 1. The starting point of all achievement, a burning desire. All human action, from the simplest gesture to the most monumental undertaking, begins with desire. No person will lift a single finger, expend a single ounce of energy, or take a single step toward a goal for which they feel no desire. Yet, the world is filled to overflowing with individuals who possess mere wishes. They wish they were successful. They hope for more money. They would like to be in better health. A wish is a pale, anemic, powerless thing. It is a flimsy thought, a ghost of an ambition with no energy behind it. It is a beggar pleading with life for a handout, and life, like a shrewd banker, grants no loans on such poor collateral. A burning desire is another thing entirely. It is a creature of fire and force. It is not a wish. It is a clear, throbbing, all-consuming demand that dominates your waking thoughts and colors your dreams by night. It is a force that marshals all the energies of your being, mental, physical, and spiritual, and focuses them, like a magnifying glass focusing the brilliant rays of the sun onto a single, incandescent point. It is this intense concentration of energy that creates the heat necessary to burn through all obstacles and ignite the world with your purpose. The person animated by a mere wish will put forth a feeble, half-hearted effort. When the first sign of difficulty appears, when the first wave of criticism washes over them, their will crumbles. Why? Because there is no deep well of emotional energy to sustain it. Their will has no fuel. The person possessed by a burning desire, however, finds that their will becomes stronger and more resolute with every obstacle placed in their path. The desire itself becomes the fuel for the will. Opposition does not extinguish the fire. It fans it into a greater blaze. Consider the case of two young men who both decide they want to become successful writers. The first, whom we shall call Walter the Wisher, would like to write a great novel. He dabbles. He writes a few pages when the mood strikes him. He tells his friends of his ambition. But when his first manuscript is rejected, his enthusiasm wanes. He finds other things to occupy his time. The work is hard, the rewards are distant. His wish, being a thing of no substance, dissolves. The second young man, whom we will call David the Desirer, is possessed by a different spirit. He does not wish to be a writer, he must be a writer. The stories burn within him, demanding release. He studies the craft relentlessly. He rises at 5 every morning to write before his day job begins. He papers his wall with rejection slips, seeing them not as evidence of failure, but as proof of his effort. His friends call him obsessed. They are right. He is possessed by a desire so powerful that it makes all sacrifice seem trivial. He is not discouraged by difficulty, he is energized by it. It is not a question of if he will succeed, but only when, and succeed he will. The intensity of his desire guarantees it. You must, in your own mind, follow the example of the great warrior who burned his ships upon landing on an enemy shore. By removing all possibility of retreat, he transformed a mild desire for victory into an all-consuming, burning desire for survival and conquest. You must close the door on all if-onlys, all possibilities of retreat. You must cultivate a desire for your goal that is so intense, it admits no other outcome but success. This is not a matter of chance, it is a matter of deliberate, scientific cultivation. Follow these 6 definite, practical steps to transmute the pale ghost of a wish into the living, breathing giant of a burning desire. Be absolutely definite. You must fix in your mind the exact thing you desire. It is not enough to say, "I want more money." You must determine the exact amount, down to the last dollar. It is not enough to say, "I want to be happy." You must define precisely what conditions and achievements will constitute that happiness for you. A vague desire produces a vague and unsatisfactory result. Determine exactly what you will give. Life is a great merchant who gives nothing away. For everything you receive, a price must be paid. There is no such thing as something for nothing. You must determine exactly what you intend to give in return for the thing you desire. Will you give your time? Your intense effort, your unwavering, focused concentration, your specialized knowledge, be specific. The more you are willing to give, the more you will be entitled to receive. Establish a definite date for attainment. Set a definite date by when you intend to possess the thing you desire. A goal without a deadline is a daydream. A deadline acts as a forcing system. It crystallizes the desire and commands your mind to begin planning for its attainment within a specific time frame. It transforms someday into a concrete reality on your calendar. Create a definite, practical plan. Create a definite plan for carrying out your desire, and, this is the most critical part, begin at once, whether you feel ready or not, to put this plan into action. Do not wait for the perfect plan to appear. Begin with the best plan you can create and improve it as you go. Action is the spark that ignites desire and builds momentum. Commit it to paper. Write out a clear, concise statement encompassing the 4 points above. The exact thing you desire, the time limit for its acquisition, what you intend to give in return for it, and the plan through which you intend to accumulate it. A thought, when it is written down, takes on a power, clarity, and permanence it does not possess when it is merely floating in the ether of the mind. Impress it upon your mind. Read your written statement aloud, twice daily, once just before retiring at night and once after rising in the morning. As you read, see and feel, and believe yourself already in possession of your goal. Close your eyes and visualize the reality of your achievement with all the emotion you can muster. This is not childish make-believe. This is the proven, scientific process of impressing your desire upon your subconscious mind, which will then begin to work tirelessly, day and night, to bring it into physical reality. By diligently following these 6 steps, you will transform a weak and passive wish into a dynamic, powerful, all-consuming obsession. This obsession, this burning desire, is the foundational fuel for an indomitable will. It provides the why that makes you willing and able to endure any how. Without it, your will is a magnificent cannon without a single grain of powder. With it, you are armed with a spiritual and mental force that can blast through any barrier that stands between you and your destiny. Chapter 2: The Workshop of the Mind, Belief and Expectancy. Desire may be the fuel for the engine of will, but belief is the spark of ignition. Without it, the richest fuel is inert and useless. You may desire $1 million with all the intensity a human heart can generate. But if, in the secret, silent chambers of your mind, you harbor the belief that you are unworthy of it or incapable of acquiring it, your will shall be utterly paralyzed. Your conscious mind will not and cannot permit you to move with conviction and power toward a goal you secretly believe to be impossible. The human mind can be likened to a vast and complex workshop. In this workshop, there are two chief foremen who work with incredible efficiency. One is Mr. Triumph, and the other is his counterpart, Mr. Defeat. Mr. Triumph specializes in manufacturing reasons why you can, why you are qualified, and why you will inevitably succeed. He is a master at finding the silver lining in every cloud and the opportunity in every difficulty. Give him the smallest positive thought, and he will build it into a towering monument of confidence. Mr. Defeat is an expert in the opposite. He is a genius at producing flawless, logical, and highly convincing arguments for why you can't, why you're too weak, too old, too young, or too ignorant, and why you are destined to fail. He can take a minor setback and magnify it into an insurmountable catastrophe. Your will, acting as the manager of this mental factory, has the sole authority to give the commands. A strong, positive will charged with vibrant belief calls upon Mr. Triumph for every task. A weak, hesitant will, perpetually infected with the poison of doubt, defaults every time to Mr. Defeat. The foreman you call upon most often grows stronger, more dominant, and more efficient, while the other withers from disuse and neglect. The choice of which foreman runs your mind is yours, and yours alone, every hour of every day. The most common affliction of a weak and failing will is a debilitating disease of attitude I call excusitis, the failure disease. The person suffering from this malady has a ready-made, seemingly logical excuse for every failure, every inaction, and every moment of mediocrity. The more successful they are at making excuses, the less successful they are at getting results. Let us examine and dismantle the most common forms of this disease, health excusitis. I'm not feeling well. I have this or that ache or pain. The person who uses this excuse constantly talks about their ailments, using them as a shield against the demands of action and achievement. The cure: refuse to talk about your health unless absolutely necessary. The more you talk about an ailment, the worse it seems to get. Be grateful for the health you do have, and resolve to get on with the business of living. Intelligence excusitis. I'm not smart enough. I don't have the education. This is a pernicious form of self-deprecation. History is filled with brilliant failures and mediocre students who went on to achieve greatness. It is not how much raw intelligence you have, but how you use what you have that matters. A person with average intelligence but a positive, I can do it attitude will always outperform a gloomy genius. Focus on your strengths and remember that thinking, not just raw brainpower, is what brings success. Age excusitis. This has two forms: I'm too old and I'm too young. Both are crutches. The truth is, your age is an asset if you believe it to be. If you are young, you have energy, enthusiasm, and time. If you are older, you have wisdom, experience, and judgment. The key is to see your present age as the perfect age for beginning your great work. Luck excusitis. the person who blames bad luck. For their failures is admitting they believe their life is controlled by outside forces. This is the ultimate abdication of will. Successful people do not believe in luck, they believe in cause and effect. They know that good preparation, hard work, and persistence create the conditions that others mistake for good luck. The first and most decisive act of a powerful will is to declare a final, unconditional war on excusitis. You must build an absolute, unwavering belief in your ability to succeed. Belief is not hope. Hope is a passive state that admits the possibility of failure. Belief is an active, dynamic force that admits only the reality of success, seen clearly in the mind's eye long before it manifests in the world. How does one build this powerful, world-shaping belief? Think success, never think failure. In every situation, from the most trivial to the most challenging, consciously seek out the reasons why you can succeed. When a negative thought about your abilities enters your mind, and it will, you must act as a vigilant guard. Immediately and consciously challenge and replace it with a positive, constructive one. Refuse to entertain or harbor thoughts of failure. This is not about ignoring reality. It is about choosing the reality you wish to create. You are the director of your own mental motion picture. Make it a point to project a film of success, confidence, and victory on the screen of your mind. Constantly remind yourself you are better than you think you are. The vast majority of people are selling themselves short. They are operating at a pitiful fraction of their true capacity because they have unconsciously accepted a limited, negative self-appraisal given to them by others or by their own past failures. Your belief in yourself must be greater than anyone else's doubt. Write down your 5 greatest assets. They may be your education, your smile, your persistence, your experience, your energy. Read this list daily. Successful people are not supermen. They are ordinary men and women who have developed an extraordinary belief in themselves and their own abilities. Act the part to feel the part. The mind and body form a two-way street. Your thoughts influence your posture, but your posture also influences your thoughts. If you walk with a slump, speak in a hesitant voice, and avoid eye contact, your mind receives the undeniable message that you are inferior and fearful. It will then produce the thoughts of inferiority and fear that match the physical posture. To build belief, you must act with belief. Throw your shoulders back, lift your chin. Walk with a brisk, purposeful stride. When you speak, speak with conviction and clarity. Look people directly and confidently in the eye. Your actions will generate the feeling of confidence, and this feeling will in turn reinforce and strengthen your core belief. Feed your mind a consistent diet of belief. Just as your physical body becomes what you feed it, your mind becomes what it feeds on. It is impossible to build a powerful will on a mental diet of garbage. Starve your mind of doubt-inducing material, the gossip, the cynicism, the endless reports of failure and tragedy that fill the airwaves. Instead, consciously and deliberately feed it a diet of power and belief. Read books by and about great achievers. Associate with positive, optimistic, success-minded people. Listen to programs and talks that inspire and uplift you. Your mind is a garden. If you do not consciously and deliberately plant the flowers of belief and confidence, the weeds of doubt and fear will grow by themselves with no effort at all. Belief is the thermostat that regulates what we accomplish in life. A person whose mental thermostat of belief is set to a low level will achieve little, even with great innate talent. A person whose thermostat is set high will achieve greatly, even if they start with only modest talent. Your will cannot command you to rise higher than the ceiling of your own belief. Therefore, the first and most crucial act of a winning will is to tear down the old, low ceiling and raise it to the limitless sky. Chapter 3. The Blueprint for Action, Definiteness of Purpose. A burning desire provides the energy. An unwavering belief provides the conviction. But without a definite purpose, this incredible energy and conviction are scattered to the four winds. They are like possessing a powerful engine that is not connected to any wheels. There is much noise, much heat, and much vibration, but no useful forward motion. The great tragedy of the average person's life is its painful and pathetic aimlessness. They drift. They accept whatever job comes along. They follow the path of least resistance. They react to circumstances rather than creating them. Their will, never having been given a grand and definite command from its master, occupies itself with petty trivialities: what to watch on television, what to eat for dinner, how to pass the time. It is a powerful faculty squandered on insignificant choices. A definite purpose is the master blueprint for your life. It is the one great, overarching goal that gives meaning, context, and direction to all your smaller, daily actions. It is the North Star by which you navigate the ocean of life, ensuring that every stroke of the oar, every adjustment of the sail, is a movement in the direction of your chosen destiny. When you fix your mind upon a definite chief aim, a remarkable and almost magical transformation begins to take place, both within you and in the world around you. First, your subconscious mind is finally given its marching orders. The subconscious is a loyal and unimaginably powerful servant, but it requires clear, unambiguous instructions. When you give it a definite goal, saturated with desire and belief, it begins to work for you 24 hours a day. It begins to search its vast archives for ideas and past knowledge that will aid you. It makes you keenly, almost supernaturally, aware of resources and opportunities in your environment that you previously overlooked. It awakens a form of intuition, a sixth sense, that guides you toward making the right decisions and connecting with the right people. Second, a definite purpose develops, strengthens, and disciplines willpower itself. It provides you with a powerful and automatic reason to say no to the 1,001 distractions and temptations that would lead you astray. When faced with the choice between an hour of idle, mindless entertainment and an hour spent working toward your grand purpose, the person with a definite purpose feels no internal conflict. The choice is clear and obvious. Their will is not strained. It is simply exercised in perfect harmony with their purpose. This daily practice of choosing the purposeful over the pleasurable is the very exercise that forges an iron will. Third, a definite purpose makes you a person of decisive action. It is the ultimate cure for the deadly habit of procrastination. Knowing exactly what you want creates an intense eagerness to begin. Every small action you take builds momentum, making the next action easier and more powerful. The aimless person waits for inspiration to strike. The purposeful person creates their own inspiration through consistent, directed action. How, then, do you establish your own life-altering, definite chief aim? Decide what you want most out of life. This requires deep, honest, and perhaps prolonged thought. This is the most important decision you will ever make. Do not be influenced by what your parents, your friends, or society expect of you. What is the one great thing you want to achieve, be, or have above all else? Your purpose must be your own, born of your own deepest and most authentic desires, or it will have no power to inspire you through the inevitable trials ahead. Write it down with perfect and vivid clarity. As we have established before, writing crystallizes thought into tangible form. Your statement of purpose should be so clear that a child could read it and understand exactly what you intend to do. It should be specific and measurable. For example, my definite chief aim is to become the leading sales manager in my company by January 1st, 2 years from now, by consistently exceeding my sales targets by 20%, and successfully mentoring 3 new team members to the top quartile of performance. I will achieve this to provide a life of financial security, freedom, and rich opportunity for my family. Make it your dominating thought. Your purpose cannot be a casual acquaintance you think about once a week. It must become the dominating, central thought of your mind. It must become a magnificent obsession. Memorize your written statement. Repeat it to yourself morning, noon, and night. Think about it. Visualize its successful attainment in rich, vivid detail. The more you occupy your conscious mind with your purpose, the more deeply it will be impressed upon your subconscious, and the more quickly it will begin to manifest in your life. Create a flexible but definite plan. As with desire, your purpose must be backed by a plan of action. This is where your vision meets reality. Break your grand purpose down into smaller, manageable, subordinate goals. What must you accomplish in the next 5 years, the next year, the next month, this very week, this very day? This turns your grand, intimidating vision into a practical, daily to-do list, making consistent action not only possible but easy. The person who has a definite chief aim, backed by a burning desire and unwavering belief, becomes a human magnet. They begin to attract to themselves the circumstances, the opportunities, the ideas, and the people necessary for the fulfillment of that purpose. Their will is no longer a scattered, reactive, and weak force, but a concentrated, creative, and invincible power that carves a direct path to victory. This is the solid, unshakable foundation upon which an indomitable will is built. Part Roman 2. Designing the victory from thought to plan. If part I was concerned with excavating and pouring the deep foundation of power within your own mind, part Roman 2 is where we begin the work of the master architect. A foundation, however strong, is useless if no structure is erected upon it. It is here that we move from the abstract to the concrete, from the inner world of feeling to the inner world of form. A desire, no matter how intense, is but a formless energy. A purpose, no matter how definite, is but a destination on a map. Before the victory can be won on the battlefield of life, it must first be designed in every intricate detail in the silent chambers of the mind. In this section, you will learn to use the two great faculties of design: imagination and organized planning. Imagination is the workshop of the soul, the place where the raw material of desire is shaped into a clear and vivid vision. Organized planning is the engineering department, the faculty that transforms that vision into a practical, step-by-step blueprint for action. He who masters these two faculties holds the power to translate his invisible desires into their visible, material equivalent. Chapter 4. The Creative Vision. Harnessing the power of imagination. The human mind has but one faculty through which it can create anything new, and that faculty is imagination. It has been rightly called the workshop of the soul. For it is here, and only here, that the formless impulse of a burning desire is given its first shape, its first form, its first tangible structure. Every great edifice, every new invention, every successful enterprise that has ever existed was first created as a complete and perfect entity in the imagination of one person. The towering skyscraper existed in its entirety in the architect's mind long before the first shovel of earth was moved. The modern automobile was a functioning reality in the imagination of its creator before the first piece of metal was forged. The person of a week will uses their imagination passively. They allow it to be a screen upon which the fears, worries, and limitations of the day are projected. They use this magnificent creative power to vividly imagine failure, embarrassment, and loss. They build detailed mental blueprints of the very things they do not want, and then are surprised when those blueprints manifest in their lives. The person of a trained and powerful will does the opposite. They seize control of their imagination and deliberately, consciously use it as a tool for achievement. They understand that what they can create and hold in their imagination, they can bring forth in their reality. The faculty of imagination functions in two distinct forms: the synthetic imagination. This is the faculty that takes old concepts, ideas, plans, and facts, and rearranges them into new and interesting combinations. There is little that is truly new under the sun. The inventor who creates a new machine does not create new matter. They take existing principles and components and combine them in a way they have never been combined before. The writer who crafts a compelling story uses the same 26 letters of the alphabet available to everyone else. The synthetic imagination is the reasoning faculty's primary tool. It is the workhorse of planning and design, essential for creating practical solutions to immediate problems. The creative imagination. This is the more mysterious and powerful form of imagination. This is the faculty that connects the finite, reasoning mind of man with the deeper, intuitive streams of knowledge. It is through the creative imagination that basic, new, and fundamental ideas are received. It is the source of all hunches, inspirations, and flashes of genius. This faculty functions automatically only when the conscious mind is vibrating at an exceedingly rapid rate, as is the case when it is stimulated by a burning desire. It is the direct line of communication between your conscious purpose and the vast storehouse of knowledge that exists beyond your immediate experience. The tragedy is that most people allow these powerful faculties to lie dormant. They go through life without ever consciously employing the power that would allow them to shape their own world. Developing your imagination is like developing a muscle. It grows stronger with deliberate, consistent exercise. Here is how you can begin to systematically develop and apply your imaginative power. Create a sanctuary for thought. Set aside a specific time and place each day where you can be quiet and undisturbed. This is your appointment with your creative self. In this time, your sole purpose is to close your eyes to the outer world of effects and open them to the inner world of causes. Give your imagination a definite task. Do not simply sit and wait for an idea to strike you. Give your imagination a specific problem to solve or a specific goal to visualize. If your definite purpose is to become a successful sales manager, command your synthetic imagination to create new plans for motivating your team. Ask it, what new combinations of incentives and training could I create to double our results? Build a vivid mental picture of your finished result. This is the most potent use of the imagination. See yourself as having already achieved your definite purpose. Do not see it as a distant future possibility. See it as a present reality. Use all your senses. What does your new office look like? What does the applause of your peers sound like? How does the feeling of accomplishment and confidence fill your body? Build this mental movie with such vividness and detail that it feels more real than your current circumstances. Rehearse your actions. Before an important meeting or presentation, use your imagination to rehearse it from beginning to end. See yourself speaking with confidence and clarity. Imagine the positive reactions of your audience. See the successful outcome. This mental rehearsal not only builds your confidence, but also allows your subconscious mind to work out the details and guide your actions flawlessly when the time comes. Stimulate your creative imagination. When you are stuck on a problem, and your synthetic imagination has exhausted all its known combinations, you must learn to appeal to your creative imagination. You do this by holding your problem or purpose in mind with intense desire and belief, and then letting it go. Turn your attention to something else. Go for a walk. Listen to inspiring music. It is often in these moments of relaxed, non-striving attention that the flash of insight from the creative imagination breaks through into your conscious mind. Your will is the director, but your imagination is the screenwriter and the set designer. It creates the rich, compelling vision that your will then strives to bring to life. The person who neglects to develop and use their imagination is fighting with one hand tied behind their back. But the person who learns to harness this creative vision becomes a true architect of their destiny, building their empire in the mind with such clarity and precision that its appearance in the physical world becomes a mere formality. Chapter 5. Organized Planning, the bridge between desire and reality. Imagination may create the perfect blueprint, but a blueprint alone has never housed a family or run a factory. An intermediate step is required, a bridge that must be built between the invisible world of thought and the visible world of action. That bridge is organized planning. This is the stage where the vast majority of would-be achievers fail. They are masters of wishing and dreaming. They possess a powerful desire and can see their goal clearly in their mind's eye. But they are unwilling to undertake the disciplined, practical, and often arduous work of creating a sound, logical, step-by-step plan for its attainment. A desire without a plan is a delusion. It is a form of self-hypnosis that produces a pleasant feeling but no tangible results. A will that is not guided by a definite plan is like a powerful automobile with a driver who is flooring the accelerator but refusing to touch the steering wheel. There will be much motion, but it will be erratic, uncontrolled, and will inevitably end in a crash. Organized planning is the process of using your synthetic imagination and your reasoning faculty to create a detailed, practical roadmap from where you are to where you want to be. It is the cold, hard, logical work that must follow the fire of inspiration. The creation of a sound plan involves several definite principles. Your plan must be written. This cannot be overemphasized. A plan that exists only in your head is not a plan. It is a collection of shifting intentions. Committing your plan to paper forces clarity and exposes weaknesses. The act of writing engages a different part of your brain and makes the plan more real, more official, and more binding. Your written plan becomes your personal contract with yourself. Your plan must be a collaborative effort. One of the greatest mistakes people make is believing they must have all the knowledge and experience necessary to create and execute their plan. The most successful individuals are those who understand their own limitations and have the wisdom to supplement their own knowledge with the experience, education, and imagination of other people. Form a cabinet of advisors. Surround yourself with intelligent people who are sympathetic to your purpose and seek their counsel in the creation of your plan. This is the seed of the great mastermind principle, which we will discuss later in detail. Your plan must be detailed and continuous. A good plan starts with the end goal and works backward. If your goal is 5 years away, what major milestones must you achieve by year 3? By year 1? By next month? By next week? What specific actions must you take today? Your plan must be a living document that provides you with a clear course of action every single day. Your plan must be flexible. No plan is perfect from its inception. You cannot possibly foresee every obstacle or opportunity that will arise. You must accept that your first plan is likely to be a weak one. This is not a cause for discouragement. It is a simple fact. The key is to begin executing your first plan immediately and to have the humility and wisdom to revise it as you encounter temporary defeat or new information. The failed planner is the one who quits when their first plan doesn't work. The master planner is the one who keeps revising, adjusting, and creating new plans until one is found that does work. Your plan must include a definite first step. A plan, no matter how brilliant, is worthless until it is set in motion. The greatest cause of failure is procrastination. The habit of putting things off until the time is right is fatal to success. The time will never be just right. You must begin where you stand and work with whatever tools you may have at your command, and better tools will be found as you go along. Your plan must therefore include a definite, specific, and immediate first action step that you can take the moment you have finalized its initial draft. Consider the general who wishes to win a battle. He does not simply charge onto the field with a burning desire for victory. He and his staff spend days and weeks in organized planning. They study the terrain. They analyze the enemy's strengths and weaknesses. They plan for supplies, for communication, for contingencies. They create a primary plan and they create backup plans. Their desire is the why, but the plan is the how. Your definite purpose is your great campaign. You must become the commanding general of your own life. Sit down with your desire, your belief, and your imagination. Call upon the best counsel you can find, and forge a definite, organized plan. This plan is the steel bridge you will build, plank by plank, rivet by rivet, that will carry you safely and surely from the intangible realm of desire to the tangible reality of glorious achievement. Part Roman 3. Forging the indomitable will the tools of discipline. With a solid foundation of desire, belief, and purpose now laid, and with a clear architectural blueprint drawn by imagination and organized planning, we arrive at the most critical stage of our work. We move from the architect's office to the forge. It is here, in the heat of daily practice and the rhythmic clang of conscious effort, that the raw iron of intention is hammered and tempered into the shining, unbreakable steel of an unconquerable will. A powerful will is not a gift, it is a victory. It is not born in a moment of inspiration. It is made, piece by piece, in the mundane moments of daily discipline. The faculties of the mind, like the muscles of the body, grow stronger only through consistent and intelligent exercise. To wish for a strong will without being willing to practice the disciplines that create it is the height of self-delusion. In this section, you will be given the master tools for this mental craftsmanship. These are not theories to be debated, but actions to be performed. You will learn to command the vast, unseen forces of your subconscious mind. You will be given the master key to self-control, which unlocks the door to every other power. You will learn the art of decisive action and the divine alchemy of persistence. These are the practical, hands-on disciplines that transform a common mind into a mind of power, capable of weathering any storm and achieving any objective. Chapter 6. The Power of Autosuggestion, Commanding Your Subconscious. Your mind is a dual entity, composed of two distinct but interconnected parts, the conscious and the subconscious. Your conscious mind is the part with which you reason, analyze, and make choices. It is the captain on the bridge of your ship, observing the world, consulting the charts, and issuing the orders. The subconscious mind, however, is the vast, unseen engine room below decks. It is a place of immense and mysterious power. It controls all your automatic bodily functions, from the beating of your heart to the process of digestion. It is the filing cabinet of every experience you have ever had, every thought you have ever thought. It is the seat of your habits, your deepest emotions, and your intuition. The subconscious is a loyal, tireless, and powerful servant, but it possesses one critical characteristic. It does not reason or argue. It accepts as true whatever is impressed upon it with strong emotion and constant repetition by the conscious mind. It is like the fertile soil of a garden. It will grow whatever seed you plant in it, be it a seed of corn or a seed of deadly nightshade. Autosuggestion is the principle of self-suggestion. It is the control panel, the communication channel between your conscious mind, the captain, and your subconscious mind, the engine room. It is the means by which you can consciously and deliberately feed your subconscious the thoughts, beliefs, and commands you choose to plant, rather than allowing it to be fed by the stray, negative, fear-laden thoughts that drift in from your environment. The person of a weak and drifting will is a passive victim of external suggestion. Their subconscious mind is shaped by the doubts of others, the sensationalism of the daily news, the cynicism of their associates, and the echoes of their own past failures. Their subconscious, having been fed this steady diet of negativity, then works diligently to produce a physical reality that matches it, a reality of failure, lack, and limitation. The person of power seizes absolute control of this process. They act as a vigilant, unsleeping guard at the gate of their own mind. They understand that their most important and sacred duty is to choose the thoughts, affirmations, and mental images they wish to plant in the fertile soil of their subconscious. This is the highest and most potent use of willpower, to will what you shall think. The principle is as simple as it is profound. Whatever you tell your subconscious, with faith, emotion, and repetition, it will accept as a direct command and begin to work immediately to translate into its physical equivalent. Here is the practical step-by-step method for applying the power of autosuggestion to build an indomitable will and a character of strength. Craft your command with precision. Create a short, clear, positive statement that affirms the quality you wish to develop or the goal you wish to achieve. This statement or affirmation must be written in the present tense, as if you already possess the quality or goal. The subconscious does not understand the future, it only understands the now. For willpower, my will is a force of tempered steel. I am the absolute master of my thoughts, my habits, and my emotions. I act with calm, deliberate purpose in all things. For persistence, I am relentlessly persistent in the pursuit of my definite purpose. I see every obstacle as a welcome test of my resolve, and I gain strength from every challenge I overcome. I never, ever quit. For confidence, I am filled with a calm and unshakable confidence. I possess all the ability, all the talent, and all the resilience required to achieve my every goal. Establish a ritual. The subconscious mind is most receptive to suggestion during the transitional states between waking and sleeping. Therefore, twice a day, in the morning immediately upon waking and at night just before falling asleep, go to a quiet place where you will not be disturbed or distracted. This is your sacred appointment with the architect of your destiny, your own subconscious mind. Saturate the words with emotion. This is the most crucial step, the one that separates idle wishing from powerful creation. Close your eyes and repeat your chosen statement aloud, with a voice full of conviction. As you do so, it is absolutely essential that you engage your emotions. Do not merely mouth the words like a parrot. You must feel the truth of what you are saying. Feel the steely, unbreakable strength of your will. Feel the surge of unstoppable confidence coursing through your veins. Feel the bulldog tenacity of your persistence. Emotion is the electrical charge that carries the suggestion deep into the subconscious. A suggestion repeated without feeling has as much power as a disconnected wire. Visualize the result with clarity. As you repeat your command, you must create a vivid mental picture of yourself acting as the person you are describing. See yourself in your mind's eye calmly resisting a temptation that previously defeated you. See yourself persisting through a difficult task with a determined smile, long after others would have quit. See yourself speaking with authority and confidence in a challenging situation. The subconscious mind thinks in pictures and feelings. Giving it a clear, emotionally charged image to work toward is like giving a master builder a detailed, three-dimensional blueprint. Practice with tireless consistency. This is not a process that yields its full results in a single day or a single week. This is a discipline. The seeds of thought you plant must be watered daily with repetition and emotion. You did not build your old, limiting beliefs in a day, and you will not replace them overnight. But with tireless consistency, These new, powerful beliefs will begin to take root. They will grow stronger each day, crowding out the old, weak weeds of doubt and fear. Soon, you will find yourself automatically acting in accordance with your new commands, without conscious effort or strain. Your subconscious will have accepted its new programming. This is the secret of all true and lasting self-mastery. You are not fighting your deep-seated habits and fears with the limited, finite strength of your conscious will alone. You are enlisting the aid of the infinitely more powerful subconscious. By consciously directing your thoughts through the scientific application of autosuggestion, you are remaking yourself from the inside out. You are building a character and a will that are in perfect, harmonious alignment with your highest and most noble ambitions. Chapter 7: The Master Key to Discipline, the Habit of Self-Control. Willpower finds its truest and most practical daily expression in the habit of self-control. Self-control is not a grim process of self-denial. It is the enlightened act of self-direction. It is the conscious and deliberate control of your mind's own energies, directing them away from negative, wasteful, and destructive expressions, and focusing them with laser-like precision toward positive, creative, and constructive ends. The undisciplined person is a slave. They are a slave to their fleeting appetites, their volatile emotions, and their ever-changing moods. Their precious life energy is dissipated in 100 different directions, in bouts of anger, in fits of worry, in mindless indulgence, in idle gossip. They are like a reservoir with 1,000 leaks. All their power drains away before it can be channeled toward a useful purpose. The disciplined person, through the conscious practice of self-control, becomes a master. They gather these same powerful energies and, like a brilliant engineer, channel them through the turbines of their definite purpose. Self-control is the master key that locks the door on weakness and opens the door to power. This master habit must be practiced and mastered in 4 key domains of life. Control of thought. This is the supreme discipline, the foundation upon which all other control is built. As you now understand, your thoughts shape your reality. The person who cannot control their thoughts cannot hope to control anything else. This requires the daily habit of mental housekeeping. You must resolve to become a vigilant guard at the door of your mind, examining every thought that seeks entry. When a thought presents itself, you must challenge it. Does this thought align with my definite purpose? Does it build me up or tear me down? Is it a thought of courage, abundance, and strength, or a thought of fear, lack, and weakness? If it is negative, you must firmly but calmly refuse it entry. The most effective method is to immediately replace it with its positive opposite. When the thought, "I can't do this," appears, you must consciously and forcefully think, "I have all the ability and strength I need to do this." This is the most difficult and most important work you will ever do. Control of emotion. Emotions are the great motivators of action, but when uncontrolled, they are devastatingly destructive. An act performed in the white heat of anger, the gray depths of despair, or the cold grip of fear is almost always an act one comes to regret. The will must act as the calm and collected master of the emotions, not their flustered and helpless servant. This does not mean becoming cold or unfeeling. It means choosing your emotional response rather than defaulting to an automatic reaction. The greatest power a human being possesses is the ability to choose their response in the space between a stimulus and a reaction. When you feel a negative emotion rising, anger, jealousy, frustration, learn to create a pause. Take a deep breath. Mentally step back from the feeling and observe it. Refuse to act until the first wave of emotion has passed and your clear, reasoning mind is back in control. He who masters his moods masters his life. Control of speech. The words you speak have a dual and powerful effect. They influence the minds of others, and they reinforce the beliefs in your own subconscious mind. A person of a strong will is a person of disciplined, purposeful speech. They do not indulge in idle gossip, for they know it is a waste of mental energy and a poison to the spirit. They do not speak of their fears or doubts, for to give them voice is to give them life and power. They do not complain or speak of what is wrong with the world, for complaining is an affirmation of powerlessness. Instead, they speak with purpose, with positivity, and with conviction. They speak of their goals, of their plans, of the good they see. Before you speak, learn to pass your words through 3 golden gates. Is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? A disciplined tongue is the unfailing outward sign of a disciplined mind. Control of appetites. The body and mind are not separate entities, they are an inseparable unit. The discipline required to control your physical appetites for food, drink, comfort, and ease directly strengthens the muscle of your will for mental and spiritual challenges. When you choose the healthy, nourishing meal over the fleeting pleasure of junk food, you are casting a powerful vote for long-term purpose over short-term pleasure. When you rise an hour early to work on your purpose, instead of indulging in the comfort of your bed, you are powerfully affirming your mastery over your physical self. Each small victory in the physical realm builds your power and self-respect, making you stronger for the larger battles of life. Self-control is not a quality you are born with. It is a habit, and like any habit, it is built through countless small daily decisions. Begin by mastering one small thing. Decide to forego a dessert for 1 week. Decide to refrain from any and all negative criticism for a full 24 hours. Decide to get up 15 minutes earlier every day without fail. Each victory, no matter how small it may seem, strengthens your will for the next, greater challenge. Self-control is the master key that keeps your power from leaking away. It keeps it conserved, focused, and directed squarely at the attainment of your great life's purpose. Chapter 8. The Sword of Command, the Power of Decision. In the great armory of the will, there is a weapon so keen and so powerful that its proper use distinguishes, more than any other single quality, the person of achievement from the person of failure. That weapon is decision. Observe those who have achieved little in life, and you will find they share a common, crippling habit. They are slow to make decisions, and they are quick to change them once made. They waffle, they waver, they procrastinate. They seek the opinions of everyone and are swayed by the last person they spoke with. Their will, lacking the sharp edge of decisiveness, cannot cut through the thickets of doubt and uncertainty. They are forever poised to act, but never truly acting. Now, observe those who achieve greatly. You will find, without exception, that they have cultivated the opposite habit. They make decisions promptly and definitely. They gather the facts, they may seek counsel, but then they decide and they move. Once a decision is made, they are slow to change it. They give their plan time to work, and they are not swayed by the temporary squalls of opposition or the fickle opinions of the crowd. Procrastination, the habit of indecision, is the mortal enemy of a strong will. It is a mental poison that seeps into your consciousness, paralyzing your initiative and draining your vitality. When you are faced with a decision and you fail to make it, you create a state of mental conflict. 2 or more opposing ideas occupy your mind, each pulling for dominance. This internal tug-of-war consumes vast amounts of mental energy, leaving your will weak, fatigued, and incapable of powerful, directed action. The person who cannot make a firm decision cannot be said to have a will of their own at all. Their mind is a public forum where every stray opinion can have its say, and the result is a government of chaos. To build an indomitable will, you must become the absolute monarch of your own mind. You must listen to the counsel of your reasoning faculty, but the final command, the decision, must be yours alone, and it must be final. Henry Ford, in the early days of his motor company, decided to continue producing his famous Model T, despite the counsel of his advisors who urged him to change the model every year. He made his decision promptly and held to it with such firmness that he was able to perfect his mass production methods and put the world on wheels. His decisiveness, even in the face of expert opposition, was a primary source of his phenomenal success. You must learn to wield the sword of command. Here is the method for cultivating the priceless habit of decision. Recognize that the value of a decision lies in the courage to make it. Understand that in most cases, a definite decision that is acted upon, even if it is not a perfect one, is infinitely better than no decision at all. The world makes way for the person who is moving, not the person who is standing still, weighing endless possibilities. Set deadlines for decisions. Do not allow yourself the luxury of indefinite postponement. For small, daily decisions, give yourself a time limit of minutes. For larger decisions, gather the necessary facts, but set a definite date and time when you will render your verdict. This practice alone will begin to train your mind to operate with speed and efficiency. Once a decision is made, shut the door on alternatives. After you have made a definite decision, burn the mental bridges that lead back to doubt. Throw your whole energy into the execution of your decision. Do not torment yourself with what-ifs. The constant reevaluation of a decision is a form of fear, and it is fatal to your will. See your decision through. If it proves to be wrong, you will learn a valuable lesson that will make your next decision better. If it is right, you will reap the rewards. In either case, you win by the very act of deciding and acting. Keep your own counsel. The habit of broadcasting your plans and decisions to the world before they are executed is a dangerous one. It invites the idle opinions, criticisms, and doubts of others, which can weaken your resolve. People of great achievement are often known for being quiet about their intentions. They make their decisions, act upon them, and let the results speak for themselves. Make your decisions in the counsel of your own mind and your trusted advisors, and then close the debate. Practice on small things. Like all habits, decisiveness is built through practice. Start with the small things of your daily life. Decide quickly what you will wear, what you will eat, what task you will begin first. Refuse to waver. Each small, firm decision you make is like a single hammer blow that sharpens the edge of your will, preparing it for the great and momentous decisions that will shape your destiny. Your will is a command faculty. It is meant to issue orders, not to hold endless debates. Seize the sword of decision. Wield it with courage and finality. You will find that this single habit will do more to clear the path to your goals, build your self-confidence, and strengthen your personal power than almost any other discipline you can acquire. Chapter 9: The Alchemy of Persistence, Turning Failure into Fuel. We now arrive at the ultimate test of the will, the quality that separates the masters from the masses, the victors from the victims. It is the quality that gives power and life to all the others. Without it, the most burning desire, the most unshakable belief, and the most brilliant plan will all dissolve into nothing at the first sign of serious opposition. That quality is persistence. Persistence is the iron in the blood of willpower. It is the bulldog tenacity that says, "I may be tired, I may be bruised, I may be knocked down, but I will not be beaten. I will not quit." It is the sustained effort that is required after the initial fire of your enthusiasm has cooled. Every great success story in the annals of human history is, at its heart, a story of persistence. Abraham Lincoln faced a staggering series of failures in business, in politics, and in his personal life that would have broken 1,000 lesser men. Yet after each defeat, he picked himself up, learned his lesson, and went at it again, until he finally reached the highest office in the land at one of its most critical junctures. His will was not just strong, it was persistent. The weak-willed person makes a fatal error in thinking. They mistake temporary defeat for permanent failure. When they encounter an obstacle, when their plan fails, when they are criticized or rejected, they interpret it as a sign that their goal is impossible. They raise the white flag of surrender and retreat into the comfortable prison of their excuses. The person of a persistent will understands a profound truth. There is no such thing as failure, except the failure to keep trying. They understand that temporary defeat is not failure. It is a signal to create a new plan. It is a lesson in what does not work. It is an opportunity to grow stronger. This mental attitude is the true alchemy of success. It is the secret formula that allows one to take the raw, base metal of defeat and transmute it into the pure, shining gold of wisdom, strength, and ultimate victory. Persistence is a state of mind, and therefore it can be consciously cultivated. You must build it, guard it, and make it your most steadfast habit. Here are the 4 essential steps to cultivating a will that cannot be broken. A definite purpose backed by a burning desire for its fulfillment. This is the absolute, non-negotiable starting point. You will not and cannot persist for a goal you only mildly want. Your why must be so powerful, so deeply embedded in your heart, that it can withstand any how. You must desire your goal with a relentless intensity that makes quitting simply unthinkable. A definite plan expressed in continuous, unceasing action. Persistence is not just stubbornness, it is intelligent, directed effort. You must have a plan, and you must be constantly working that plan. Action is the great antidote to despair. As long as you are taking steps, no matter how small, you are generating momentum and keeping hope alive. When one plan fails, the persistent person immediately begins to create another, and another, and another, until a plan is found that works. A mind hermetically sealed against negative and discouraging influences. This is crucial. You must consciously and ruthlessly protect your mind from the well-meaning friends, pessimistic relatives, or your own inner voices of doubt that whisper, "It can't be done," or "You should give up." Doubt is more contagious and more deadly than any physical disease. You must build a fortress of belief around your mind and refuse entry to any thought or suggestion that would weaken your resolve. A habit of welcoming defeat as a priceless lesson. This is the mark of the true master. The person with persistence does not fear or resent defeat. They welcome it. They understand that every setback, every heartbreak, every plan that goes awry carries with it the seed of an equivalent or greater benefit. When they are knocked down, they do not lie there and bewail their fate. They get up, dust themselves off, and immediately ask the intelligent question, "What did this teach me? What is the valuable lesson hidden in this experience? How can I use this lesson to make my next attempt more effective?" The road to every worthwhile goal is paved with the stones of temporary defeat. The majority of people turn back at the first sign of a rough patch, but the person who has cultivated the habit of persistence walks on. They know that just beyond the point where most people quit lies the sweet land of success. Your will is tested, not when things are going well, but when everything seems to be going wrong. It is in that moment of supreme trial that you must call upon your reserves of persistence. Make it your watchword. Make it your battle cry. Refuse to be broken. Send a clear and definite message to the world and to the deepest parts of your own being that you will not be denied. And life, in the end, always makes way for the man or woman who refuses to quit. Part Roman 4. Amplifying your power, the outer world. Having laid the foundation in your inner world, designed the victory in your mind, and forged the steel of your will through daily discipline, you have now become a formidable individual force. You have learned to direct your own powers with precision and tenacity. But the greatest achievers in history have always understood a profound secret. Individual power, no matter how great, has its limits. The final stage in the development of a truly triumphant will is to learn how to multiply your power by intelligently and harmoniously aligning it with the power of other minds. In this final section, we will explore the capstone principle of all organized effort. This is the principle that allows you to step beyond the boundaries of your own knowledge and experience and tap into the collective power and wisdom of others. It is the principle that transforms addition into multiplication, turning a single, focused will into an irresistible force for achievement. Chapter 10: The Master-Mind Alliance, Multiplying Your Willpower. No single mind possesses all the knowledge, experience, and talent necessary for the attainment of a great and worthy purpose. To believe that you can achieve massive success entirely on your own is a form of vanity that is fatal to your ambitions. Every person of great wisdom and achievement, from Andrew Carnegie to Thomas Edison, understood and applied the principle of the mastermind. What is a mastermind? It is the coordination of knowledge and effort in a spirit of perfect harmony between two or more people for the attainment of a definite purpose. This is not merely a principle of teamwork or cooperation. It is a far deeper and more powerful concept. When two or more minds are blended in a spirit of perfect harmony, the spiritual and mental energy created is not just the sum of the individual minds. A third, invisible, intangible mind is created, a mastermind. This third mind can be tapped into by all members of the alliance, providing them with insights, inspirations, and creative ideas far beyond what any of them could access alone. The mastermind principle has two distinct benefits: the economic and practical benefit. This is the most obvious advantage. Through a mastermind alliance, you can supplement your own weaknesses with the strengths of others. If your plan requires specialized knowledge in law, finance, or engineering that you do not possess, you can bring individuals with that knowledge into your alliance. You gain the benefit of their lifetime of education and experience. This is the very essence of organized, intelligent planning. You are no longer limited by what you, as one person, know. The psychic and creative benefit. This is the more subtle and profound advantage. When a group of minds attunes itself to one another in a state of perfect harmony and focuses on a single purpose, they tap into a higher source of thought. The creative imagination of each member is stimulated to a degree that is impossible when working alone. Solutions to complex problems will often appear in a flash. Brilliant, game-changing ideas will flow into the group. This is the unseen force behind every great brainstorming session, every successful board of directors, and every world-changing partnership. A mastermind alliance multiplies the power of your own will. The belief and desire of your allies reinforce your own. Their persistence shores up your resolve during times of temporary defeat. Their collective will, focused like a great lens on your definite purpose, creates a magnetic force that draws to you the opportunities and resources needed for success. How do you create and maintain a powerful mastermind alliance? Select your members with extreme care. This is the most critical step. Your alliance must be built upon a foundation of perfect harmony. A single discordant member, someone who is negative, untrustworthy, or not fully aligned with your purpose, can destroy the psychic chemistry of the entire group. Select people who are positive, reliable, and who possess the specific knowledge or experience you lack. Establish a clear and definite purpose. The alliance must have a clear reason for its existence. What is the definite, major purpose you intend to achieve together? This purpose must be agreed upon by all members, and it must offer a definite benefit to each of them in some form. No one will give their best effort without a motive. Determine the rules of engagement. The group must meet regularly, whether in person or by other means. A definite schedule must be maintained. There should be a clear agenda for each meeting to ensure the time is used efficiently and focused entirely on the group's purpose. Maintain perfect harmony at all costs. Before each meeting, every member should put aside all personal grievances and ego. The focus must be entirely on the collective goal. Open, honest discussion is essential, but it must always be conducted with mutual respect. The moment harmony is broken, the mastermind dissolves, and you are left with nothing more than a collection of argumentative individuals. Begin by forming an alliance with at least one other person. It may be your spouse, a trusted colleague, or a mentor. Share your definite purpose with them. Ask for their full cooperation and support. Meet with them regularly to discuss your plans and progress. As your needs grow, you can expand your alliance. You cannot achieve greatness in isolation. The journey to the summit is too arduous. By creating a mastermind alliance, you surround your will with the power of other wills, your knowledge with the power of other knowledge, and your desire with the power of other desires. You are no longer a single soldier fighting a battle. You have become the general of a disciplined and powerful army, marching in unison toward a definite and glorious victory. Conclusion: the crown of achievement. A will that wins, we have now traveled the complete path, from the humble spark of a formless wish to the mighty, synergistic power of allied minds. We have laid bare the timeless, immutable principles that govern the development of a will capable of magnificent and lasting achievement. Let us now, in this final moment, distill the great truths we have uncovered into a creed of personal power. You learned that a powerful will is not born of a grim and joyless struggle, but of a vibrant and burning desire. It begins when you crystallize that desire into a single, definite purpose. A purpose so clear and compelling that it becomes the dominating obsession of your mind. You discovered that this desire and purpose must be fused with an unshakable belief in your ability to achieve it. You now know how to become the absolute master of your own mental workshop, consciously choosing to build your life upon the granite of success consciousness and starving the weeds of fear and doubt. You were given the architect's tools of imagination and organized planning, the faculties that allow you to create a perfect and detailed blueprint of your victory before the first battle is ever fought. You were handed the master key of autosuggestion, the practical and scientific method for taking command of the vast, powerful, and unseen forces of your subconscious mind, turning it from a passive receptacle into a tireless and loyal servant to your will. You have been handed the tools of self-control, the daily discipline over thought, emotion, speech, and appetite that conserves your precious energy and focuses it like a laser beam upon your objective. You have learned to wield the sword of decision, understanding that the habit of prompt and firm command is what cuts through the paralyzing fog of procrastination and sets the wheels of achievement in motion. You have embraced the crowning quality of all great achievers, bulldog persistence. You now see defeat not as a wall, but as a doorway, a priceless lesson on the path to an inevitable victory that is guaranteed to the person who simply refuses to quit. And finally, you have learned the secret of amplification through the mastermind principle, understanding that your own power is multiplied exponentially when it is blended in harmony with the power of other like-minded individuals. What then remains? Only this: action. This book, these principles, are not meant for idle contemplation or philosophical debate. They are a call to arms. They are a blueprint for a richer, more powerful, and more self-directed life. But a blueprint is worthless until the builder picks up the tools and begins the sacred work of construction. The most profound knowledge, without courageous and consistent application, is nothing more than a useless trinket. You stand today at a crossroads. It is a moment of decision. You can close this book and allow its ideas to fade into the background noise of your life, returning to a reality governed by chance, circumstance, and the will of others. Or you can make a decision right now in this very moment to take these principles and weave them into the very fabric of your being. You can decide to become the master architect of your own destiny. Choose one idea from this book, just one, and begin to apply it today. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today, decide upon your definite chief aim. Craft your first autosuggestive command. Practice one small, conscious act of self-control. Take the first immediate step of your plan, no matter how small it may seem. The power to reshape your destiny, to achieve your highest ambitions, and to live a life of your own design is not in these pages. It was, and always has been, within you. It is the unseen, silent, creative force of your own will. Until now, it may have been a sleeping giant. But now you have the knowledge to awaken it, to train it, to discipline it, and to direct it toward ends of your own choosing. You are the master of your fate. You are the captain of your soul. Why? Because you can control your thoughts, and your thoughts, when harnessed and directed by a trained and indomitable will, are the creative force that shapes your entire existence. Go forth and claim the life that is rightfully yours. The world will always stand aside for the man or the woman who knows where they are going. Train your mind. Master your will. And victory is not just a possibility, it is an inevitability.